Hi, I'm Keisha Bissram.
And I'm Hanjie Chow.
And you're listening to the Every Shade Podcast.
Season 2.
Hanjie!
Hey!
Hi!
Yes. Right, yeah. No, it was a good movie, right?
Oh my god, it was so good. I was so happy. So I don't know. I actually did not read what it was about. I
Right,
just
no, me neither.
I didn't know what Netflix had because I know Netflix has removed so much content. Like they removed a lot of films, especially foreign films too, because I watch a lot of Bollywood.
Mm.
Um but yeah, I just picked whatever was on Netflix currently, and I just sent you that little list, and then I
Yeah.
had no idea what it was about. And then when I read the I guess the summary of it, I was like, okay, that seems really interesting. And then
Right.
as I was watching it, I'm like, wow, this is a really beautiful film.
It is
I
really
liked it.
beautiful, but I mean visually it was gorgeous. Like I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was just like the ending and like the second half of it was just really bizarre.
Yeah, well,
I was
it was
like,
interesting.
okay. This seems wildly inappropriate.
Well, I think that's why I liked it.
Right, okay. Okay. I mean, it was just I mean, I'm kind of glad that at the end they kind of just realized that it there were supposed to be like boundaries, I guess. And they
Yeah.
sort of like went their separate ways. But the end bit, like yeah, the run up to it towards the end was just very melodramatic. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I felt like I don't know if it's because in a way I liked it, but I felt like they fast forwarded a little too fast. I think because
Yeah.
I guess because it was a short film, it was only 45 minutes. So
Right.
I'm
Right. I
pretty
mean,
sure
yeah.
if it was a longer film, I felt I can see how they could drag it out a bit, stretch it out a little bit, but it went from low to high, 0 to 100 really fast.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I see what they
And
were doing, but I was like, that was it was just too fast.
yeah, and also like at that point, um how many fucking days of school did he miss? And how many days of work did she miss? I was just like, this just doesn't really like uh, seem right. And it was just, yeah.
Hold on, let me get. I forgot the character names for a second. What are their names again? Garden of Words. It was
The teacher was Yukino.
Yukino. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And but I don't know why I kept forgetting his name.
It wasn't
In
really
the
mentioned that many times either.
okay.
Um,
Akizuki. That's it. Yeah, yeah,
Akizuki, right? Yeah, I think you mentioned it like twice, and that was it.
yeah.
But yeah, like the visually and everything, it was very much steeped in like realism, I guess, and it was gorgeous to watch, um, and I loved his umbrella. It was great. Um, but yeah, it seemed very real. But then for him to like just skip school pretty much every day and and there not having being any repercussions was just very like I was like really and she also missed so many days of work and then kind of develop that into a sort of weird like romance relationship when she was already facing sort of like trouble or conflict at school because of some
Yeah,
other like scandal was just like I was like
yeah.
okay this doesn't really seem I was like yeah and then to then have the sort of declaration um in the stairwell was just very dramatic.
Yeah. Well, I guess to backtrack a bit because I know we're recording this for the podcast.
Mm,
You and I watched The Garden of Words.
Yes.
which is a Japanese film that came out, I think, in 2016 when I last
Yeah.
checked. And it's 45 minutes long. It's an animation. It's a
Yeah,
beautiful
it's nice short.
animation.
It's a short
Um,
film.
yeah, it's on Netflix for now. I don't know if they're gonna take it off soon.
It's actually also on
And
YouTube.
oh, it is. Okay, it's on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
And it's about two people who meet in a very private public place and they kind of develop a relationship without actually introducing themselves to each other.
Right.
Which I actually found very interesting because they don't even exchange names in the beginning. They just
No,
start
they don't.
talking.
Yeah, that's why I like love that was what I really liked about the first half, just because they didn't really introduce each other, and then when like personal details started coming in, I was like, oh, okay, I wish they didn't do that because now it just seems wildly inappropriate.
Yeah. Well,
Because
apparently,
there was a very sort of like meet cute thing about it, which was
yeah.
great. And then when you find out he's 15, and you find out she's 27, and it's
27.
like,
Yeah.
okay.
I kind of found it interesting because I feel like I know in our society that's obviously illegal and looked down upon. I don't know what it's like in Japan because I have not lived in Japan, nor have been raised
Well,
there.
I would
So
imagine it's still sort of slightly.
I'm sure that's looked
Um,
down upon too for like a teacher to fall in love with a 15-year-old. Although, I mean, I think what I liked about the film was that nothing was sexualized,
right,
which I found very
right,
interesting because I feel like the moment I heard that he was 15, I was like, ugh, are they gonna
yeah,
like fall in love and they're just gonna like
yeah,
are they gonna kiss? Like I hope not. That's kind of gross and
right,
weird. But
right.
it was nothing like that. It was almost like they shared some sort of intimacy that couldn't really be
I
explained.
mean,
Because oh yeah,
to his credit, he was a very like kind of mature soul,
yeah,
um, because he knew what he wanted to do, um, and he knew what his ambition was, and yeah. So to his credit, yeah, he was very mature for his age, but then also, yeah, it was just the when he declared to her that he was in love with her, I was like, okay, that's a little.
it's like teenage love for a 27 year
I know.
old.
I was like, you don't really need to do that.
Yeah,
Or like there. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe there shouldn't have been a teacher student relationship to begin with, and maybe they could have just mined the whole meet cute aspect of it.
yeah, yeah. I don't know why the creator chose to do a teacher student relationship because it was
Yeah.
hard. It took me. I'm not gonna lie. It took me. I think mentally, I was like, okay, I can see what they're trying to do. It's a very odd pairing, and at the end of the
Mm,
day, we have to be forced to look at like I guess what's happening in their relationship. But it took me a while to get it out of my head that she was a teacher and he was a student. Because then
yeah.
the part
I
when
mean,
she was being fired for quote unquote falling in love with the other guy, which didn't happen,
it would never
but
happen, right?
then like when that happened, I'm like, well, that just makes her look even worse.
Yeah,
And then
exactly. And
it makes
also,
him look worse for like beating up that guy. It was
or
weird.
trying
That whole
to, but
oh yeah, sure.
but
Poor
oh
guy.
my god! But the moment he walked in and like gave that female student slap across the face, I was like,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh yeah, I kind of like that too. Yeah.
I love
Like
that bit. I was like, oh,
she was an ass.
um, she was an ass, deserved. But then, but yeah, it was for her to have gotten in trouble, even though she didn't do anything, is like there must be a grain of truth in there for her to even get that much for her to be in that position in the first place, and then to develop this sort of weird like relationship with this kid she met in the park seems a little problematic. And then on top of that, she's full on an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck drinks beer
Beer
in a
for
park?
breakfast.
Right.
She's depressed, Hanjie. My God.
But
That's what I do when I'm
still, I
depressed.
mean,
Okay.
come on.
I feel like I'm
Full on
living with her
alcoholic.
now.
Full on alcoholic. I mean, the amount of number of times she was drinking, I was like, Jesus.
With the teenager.
Yeah, and then some other things I was like, oh, there were some other parts where I was like, oh, okay, maybe he is really young, like when they were sitting there having their lunch, and he just like reaches over and grabs the food out of her lunchbox. I'm like, who the fuck does that?
Yeah. Well, he's 15.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
They're right. Yeah, there were moments I kept forgetting like who they were, because there were moments where she was acting really adolescent too.
Yeah.
There were moments where she was like, I couldn't tell what her. I guess before they revealed her age, I couldn't. I thought she was like 22 or 23.
Not 27.
Yeah, not 27. And then I guess when they revealed that she was 27, I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then after that, it was only until the very end. I think it was after they revealed the fact that she was a teacher at his school that I can see the older side to her, because she was like assuming a position that was older. Like she reminded him that he was like her sensei. And then so yeah, like it was like towards the end. So I don't know. I thought that was interesting too. I kind of wish that the film did depict how mean the girls were to Yukino, because
Didn't?
yeah, well, I feel like it didn't, because like it was showing the other girls being so supportive of her, and the girl that got bitch slapped by Akizuki. You know, it was just her. Like she was like the only one that was really mean, and I'm like, well, it'd be nice to see like a whole group of them being really mean to her, because at first I was like, oh, I guess like she really didn't fall in love with the other kid. Maybe the girls were just being mean and playing a prank, but they only showed one female student. So it would have been interesting to see that bullying happen. Because then it made, I felt like it made Yukino look like that she was just chasing after young men.
Yeah, no, totally. And I mean, it would Yukino and Akizuki were like well developed. And I know I wish we heard or saw more about his family and his background, because like there was just like one mention of his mother at the beginning, and she turns out to be a bit of a cougar herself. And yeah, that was like
which is a weird parallel, because she was she drinking beer at like that little second they
something
showed
like
her?
that. Yeah,
It looked like
I
she
feel
was
like she
drinking
was.
alcohol, and then she looked younger, and that was it. All it was a glimpse. Yeah,
right. And I would have like, you know, it would be nice to see more of that, but then again, 45 minutes, not long. And I would like to see that. And his brother was a bit of a dick. Would have liked to see that as well.
I kind of like his brother.
Yeah, right. His brother was like a cynic, and then but it was just really random how the mother was mentioned and introduced, but not really, and the brother was just there, but then tells him like he's gonna move out and go and live with his girlfriend, and then you see them in a new apartment, and that was it, and there was just no other mention of it. It was almost like, why even bother introducing that character? Like you could have just made him, you could have just let him move out like even before the film started. So yeah, it would have been nice to have seen more of the brother at least.
I guess it kind of shows. Sorry, you broke up.
No.
On my part.
It would have been nice to see more of the brother, because he was sort of like the negative voice, I guess, in his head, and there was a little bit of that, but yeah, it would have been nice to see more of that.
Yeah, he was more of like a realist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also feel, yeah, I wonder if they did that because I don't know, I feel like both characters, Yukinan, Akizuki, that's his name? Yeah,
Mm,
Akizuki, uh they were kind of like outcasts, they didn't really fit in with whatever was happening around
mm.
them.
Doesn't mean you should have a romantic relationship.
I know. Important takeaway from this movie is do not fall in love with your teacher, and teachers don't fall in love with your
Yeah,
students.
it was really. I was like, oh god. I was like, oh, why did you have to do that?
Although I am kind of glad that they left the ending open because I mean this is spoiler alert, but I'm glad that
Hmm.
they didn't like quote unquote end up together because I felt like
Yeah.
that would have been like a weird false romantic relationship. It's like they definitely I like that they reveal their true
Mm,
feelings because sometimes in the moment you just truly feel a certain way and it's like you just need to express it. But in the
right.
end, they didn't. That doesn't mean that they necessarily ended up with one another,
Yeah.
which I liked because it was like okay, there's hope that like he might see her again one day in the future, but that's not
Mm,
even guaranteed.
mm,
And he seemed okay
mm.
with it.
Yeah. I think they realized I was like, yeah, maybe there should be boundaries. Um,
Because as they hugged on the staircase, I
I
was
was
like,
like,
this
yeah,
was
this is like super
interesting.
dramatic. I was like, it's too melodramatic.
I thought they were going to end it there, and I got a little disappointed. I was like, this is a little, I don't know, this is sending the wrong message. But then when they continued, I was
Yeah.
like, okay, that's better.
Yeah. Yeah.
That softened just that part of it more. I know when she was running down the stairs with no shoes.
Yeah, yeah, it was all very melodramatic.
Yeah,
That last sequence, and it was yeah, I wasn't
which I was
really a fan of.
thinking maybe there's like some symbolism there with her with no shoes, and he's a shoemaker, and
Yeah,
I don't know,
yeah, I guess.
but it still was
I mean,
very
he was
dramatic.
trying to be a shoemaker,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Oh, poor kid.
I know, poor kid, and yeah, that just made me think of another bit where the mother was kind of almost mentioned again when he was gifting her the pair of shoes in like sort of like a flashback sequence, and he
Oh
just gifted her a
yeah.
box. Yeah, and that was it, and that was the only other mention of the mother. I'm just like,
Wait, what happened again? Can you remind me?
right, exactly. He
Wait,
he 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 gifted her a pair of shoes, and it was like purple and
yes,
sparkly,
yes, yes,
and that
yes.
was it. And that was it. There
Yeah,
was no comment on the shoes, nothing.
yeah.
To yeah, there was no comment on the shoes or anything. And I'm almost like, maybe if they included a bit of commentary on the shoes, it would have indicated to us that maybe that was where his passion to like design shoes came from, or there wasn't really a
Yeah,
reason for why he wanted to make shoes.
I actually I remember that moment last night when I was watching it because I was like, oh, maybe this is the moment when he found the passion, but then they kind of cut it really fast.
Yeah, and all he said at one point about making shoes was that he liked designing them, he liked the look of them, and it was only like women's shoes specifically.
Yeah.
And there was just like no talk about it after that. And
Did
so I was like, oh,
Akizuki
okay,
have
just just wants to make women's shoes. Okay.
did Akizuki have like mommy issues? Is that what they're trying to show?
Maybe, but I feel like that's too intelligent for like a 45-minute long anime short film. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't
I'm
know.
just
I because I couldn't figure out if he did or not. I couldn't figure out what was the connection between the shoes and the mom because it's very
yeah,
specific.
yeah. And what I also really liked was that she was a classic literature teacher, and how like the poem or the tanko they called it
Yeah, yeah.
like tied into the whole thing. I think that one was kind of like smart and beautiful. The whole thing with the rain and the faint clap of thunder. That
Yeah.
was great.
Yeah, I actually really admire the fact that there wasn't much dialogue
Mm,
in this short, and a lot of the dialogue was repetitive too,
mm,
which I don't know, it kind of forced you to like how would you say, like, when you watch a film and they kind of, I guess the visuals and dialogue is like hand holding the audience and guiding them throughout the film, whereas I feel like this one you had to be really hyper focused to
Mm.
see the emotional cues from all the characters, because there wasn't much dialogue um between a lot of the characters, and some of the dialogue was like, it was just repetitive, running over and over again. So
Yeah.
I don't know, it's really
I,
interesting.
I'm looking at the the Wikipedia page, and also what struck me before as well is like, you know how I was saying visually it's beautiful
Hmm.
and just very aesthetically pleasing.
Yes,
Um,
it really was. Yeah.
what I also just noticed was that like it's incredibly accurate, like the buildings as a backdrop,
Oh, you
and
mean to Shinjuku and like Tokyo?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it
yeah,
was.
and
Yeah,
the film version, the anime version of it is incredibly accurate.
yeah. I
Like,
have you been to Tokyo?
no, I haven't.
Okay, I've been to Tokyo, and like when they were showing like Shinjuku Station, like some other parts of like the streets, I was really impressed because I like vividly remembered a lot of the
Hmm.
details that they put in it. And I feel like, I mean, yeah, you can watch a lot of animation, you can say the same for other animation, but I felt like with this one it was very I don't know how to explain. It was like very photographic, just took it so
Yeah,
perfectly. They just got all the details in there.
really, very much so. And
Yeah.
like I said, like, and also anime food always looks so fucking delicious.
Always. That's for
Always looks
any
so
animation.
good. Looks so. I'm always like, I want that. I don't want the real
Yeah.
thing. I want that.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, just like the detail and like a lot of the framing of of the shots was just gorgeous. Yeah, the detail was just so. Ooh, it was you know it seemed so almost lifelike actually. Like there was
Yeah.
like shots of him walking, shots of his feet, just like shots of his feet just walking along the boardwalk, and it's raining and everything, and it just looks so. I was like, oh, that's very very realistic.
Yeah. For anyone who's gonna hear this podcast, if you're not gonna watch it for the story, just watch it for the
Yeah,
visuals because
watch
it
it
really
for
was
the.
pretty.
It was very very pretty.
Also,
And
it
the
was very
music.
fitting. Oh yeah, the music's really nice too. It was so
Yeah.
beautiful. Who did the music
Mm.
actually? I didn't even know. I didn't even look.
Let's
Music.
see.
Um,
The music was produced by Tenmon.
okay.
However, oh wait,
Wait, what?
um,
Oh no, that's his previous films. Shinkai's previous films. That's the
yeah,
yeah, the
but it features
creative.
music by Daisuke Kashiwa.
Oh.
Uh,
He had been a fan
and
of Shinkai's centimeters per second, which I actually heard is another good film. Is that a
what was it
film?
called?
5 centimeters per second.
Oh,
Yeah, when I was researching this film, Garden of Words, they kept referring to Shinkai's 5 centimeters per second, and I'm like, I have no idea what that is. But apparently it must be really good. So, but I don't even think that's on Netflix or anywhere else.
huh.
But I'm pretty sure we could find it at some point. Okay, well the music
Yeah.
was really pretty.
The music was very very pretty, and was
Yeah.
and yeah, it was very appropriate to like the weather and the rain. It was great. Yeah, I really loved it. It was very light.
Yeah. It's funny when the movie first started, I was like, wow, this is so fitting for pandemic times because
Mhm.
they're like lonely, they're by
Right.
themselves.
Yeah.
They're like social
Yeah.
distancing on the benches
Yeah.
for like most of the film.
Yeah. That was like really
Yeah.
good.
Where are you, by the way?
I'm with my parents at the moment.
Are you are you in the attic?
No, I'm in the living room. The ceiling has like the exposed beam.
Oh. I actually kind of like that. It looks really cool.
It's nice. It's
First,
just,
when you answered, I
grubby.
was like, "Is he in a church? What's going on here?"
Going to church. Yeah, right.
Very church-like background. How have you been since the last time we spoke?
Well, wait, when was the last time I spoke? A couple weeks ago. A week and a
No,
half ago. Yeah, no.
last week.
Was it last week? I thought it was the week
Yeah.
before.
No, it must have been last week.
I don't know. I don't know anymore.
The time is just.
Oh, God. Oh, time. I don't know. No, I've been okay. Just waiting for this insanity to end whenever that is. Where are you at the moment? Your parents in Staten Island?
So I'm in my bedroom. It's very blank because when I came back to New York after Los Angeles, I just wanted to paint my room was previously pink.
Oh, okay.
Like, I don't know what kind of pink. I don't have a pink color to show
Gross
you right now,
pink.
but it was kind of gross actually. Well, because like I painted it when I was back in high school. I painted it pink.
Oh God, so many years ago. Yeah, change
I
it.
know. I'm like 15 years ago, and then like when I came back, well, I never changed it because I was always like transitioning in and out of the house. Like I lived in Harlem for a while, and Brooklyn, and then to Los Angeles. So I just didn't bother. But then when I came back, I was like, well, I'm gonna be doing self tapes for auditions. I can't have a pink background. I'll never get a job.
Right.
And I also just couldn't look at the color pink anymore. So I
should go with like a sort of like bluish color.
Yeah,
That's
I
too
was thinking
dark.
that too. Yeah, exactly. I was like, let me just stick to white because it's just easier. So I painted my whole room white, although
Nice.
I got rid of like some furniture. I had a dresser here and I got rid of it. And all I have in the room is my bed and my desk.
Great.
And yeah, it's been good. It's been like, I think like last week I was in such a bad funk because I think it was like 3 weeks after I came back from Los Angeles. And I guess I didn't take the time to process the fact that I'm back and that I moved my life back. It's like I just like I knew it was happening, but I didn't process the emotions of it. And also of like what happened during COVID and like everything that happened in 2020. Like I think I don't know what it was, but I just didn't let it sink in. I didn't let it sit.
Is all your stuff back in New York now?
Yeah, all of it.
Wait, so how much did you have? You didn't leave anything in LA. How much stuff did you have in LA?
Well, whatever was originally mine from like my last apartment, so like my pots and pans and like my clothes, my books, things like that.
Oh, did you just ship it across country?
I shipped it across country, yeah. And like the furniture that I had bought for myself in Los Angeles, I sold it. And anything that my ex and I split, I just left it to him. Because I didn't feel like, I was like, I don't really feel like having a conversation of like, who's going to split the couch,
Right.
Where am I going to put it? And like,
yeah, exactly.
It's a couch. Like, I don't care, things like that. I didn't really care for. I didn't feel like having that conversation for something that I wasn't really 100% in love with, I guess. So it was whatever. But I don't know, a few days ago, I did a tarot reading with my friend Denise, and like she said something to me that I think it changed my mood entirely, or I guess my mindset entirely, which has helped me. It's the shortest quote I'm gonna read to you. She said to me, she basically was saying like anything that you do or any projects that like you commit to or want to do, sometimes you hold yourself back because you doubt it. So she was like, if you doubt, honestly don't. And that's all she said to me.
If you doubt, honestly don't. Well, honestly, don't doubt?
Yeah, don't doubt.
Or don't do it.
Don't doubt.
Okay.
Oh my God.
I was like, if you doubt,
don't do it.
Honestly, don't do it. Just.
She's like, doubt it.
If you have doubts about something, then honestly, don't do it. Rather than if you have doubts about something, then honestly, don't have doubts.
I need to go back to that recording to know what she actually said. No, I'm just kidding. That's too funny. I didn't even think of that.
Right.
She meant don't doubt.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's the more positive take on it.
Yeah.
And the more positive and the more useful take on it, rather than if you have doubts about something, nah.
Can you imagine a tarot card reader telling you that? If you doubt
Yeah.
something, always doubt.
Yeah. Always doubt to the point where you just don't do whatever it is you're having doubts about.
Exactly. But yeah, when she said that to me, I was like, oh, man, I feel so stupid because I feel like every time I think about doing something, I always doubt it, and then I go into a negative headspace, and then I feel sorry for myself, and then I feel
Mm,
sad, and then I just lay on the
mm,
bed for too long of a time, and I'm like, I don't really see how that's any help to me or how is that productive. So let me just start being productive, even if I don't know
yeah.
where to go.
Yeah.
Even like with like us talking, I was like, you know what, like let me start it for fun and like let's just have fun with it. And
Yeah.
I don't really care where it goes because I like
Yeah.
talking to you and it's
Yeah.
fun. And you're gonna come back to New York anyway, so
Yes. Oh my god, I fucking hope so. I fucking hope so. Like, the fucking vaccination rollout here is fucking abysmal.
what's going
And
on
like,
over there?
they're not even doing our age group yet. Whereas if I was in New York right now, like, arts workers are eligible for the vaccine. I could have gotten the vaccine, I think last week, I think. Yeah. And it's just like, it's just so stupid. It's just slow. I mean, they're going as fast as they can, blah 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 blah. But like, it's also still slow.
Yeah. I mean, it's similar here too, because technically I have asthma, so I'm eligible for the vaccine and
Hmm.
I can get my vaccine, but everywhere is booked.
I
Everywhere.
mean, but if you do the, I've heard of people doing this whole, like, going to like Walgreens or whatever and just asking if they have like any surplus vaccines and just like showing up at the end of the day.
Hmm.
Um, and they've gotten it,
Yeah.
which is what I would have done before arts workers were eligible for it.
Hmm.
Um, do whatever it takes to get the fucking thing. Um, but yeah, whereas here it's like, oh no, we're going by age groups, which is good and well, but uh, you know, many of us want to get back to work, um,
Yes.
and as harsh as this sounds, I, you know, I I I agree. Yes, old people, like the older generation, should get the vaccine.
Hmm.
But what I didn't agree was that what I didn't agree with was that they got the vaccine. Was that they were prioritized above everyone else, because, and the reason why I don't agree with that is because not all of them are working.
Hmm.
What I felt was that the people who had to work in order to, like, get the economy going back up again should have been the ones getting the vaccine first, and like, or like people working um in supermarkets or like whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like they should have got the vaccine first, at least in the UK anyway. But no, in the UK, they did like old people first, and then they're still doing old people now, and everyone else is just hanging.
So I've been living under a rock the past few months for obvious reasons,
Mm.
and I have no idea what's going on. Are they not doing essential workers in the UK first?
It depends what job you do that classifies as an essential worker. So like like hospital staff and all that they would get it first. But I'm not sure about like if you work in like a supermarket or
I see.
I'm not sure about that. Like teachers aren't.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So it's just mainly like the elderly who are prioritized first. Which, like I said, all good and well, but they're not the ones. I feel like it's easier to get older people to stay at home than it is for the younger, for like the under 50s.
Yeah.
Who still have jobs and are the ones who are usually the ones making money for the family.
Yeah. I guess it's hard. I mean, I don't know. I guess the argument is like if you're above 50, you're prone to, have the virus hit you a lot harder than
But then also,
else.
how would you get the virus if you don't go out?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. It's like, so just stay at home, or just I don't know, or just everyone stays at home. But no, it's a tricky one.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's like everyone's just feeling the fatigue of the pandemic, right? It's like you just want to like get your life moving. I mean, I know for me, like I'm very nervous about COVID, and I've only met like since I've been back in New York, I've only been to the city twice because I've been kind of just being careful because I live with my parents, But like it's like I do want the vaccine because I just want to start going out more and physically doing things. But I know even when you get the vaccine, like you still need to be cautious. So it's like I don't really know. I don't know. Like I don't know. I don't really know.
Yeah.
Or
Actually, no. Wait. I should rephrase what I said. I mean, what I should actually said was like, if you have a job, you should be able to get the vaccine. You should.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah. If you have a job, you should be able to get the vaccine.
Yeah. Yeah.
So at least then, all the age brackets are covered.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't speak for the UK. I just know here. I mean, here in the US, I know like each state is doing something different. So like
it's
New
on the state
Jersey,
level, right?
Yeah, which is I don't know. I know it's causing a lot of like demand, but I know a lot of people in my network that already had the vaccine. I mean, already had both dosage of the vaccine, or they either got the one shot, or they either had the first shot and like they're just waiting for the second one. So it's going a lot faster than I thought it was going.
I think New York's going really well, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of impressed. I thought, I don't know, I remember like back in December when I heard the vaccine was coming out, I was like, oh my God, we're going to be in this for a whole other year, which is true. We still will. But I think by February, I already knew people in my family who already got the vaccine. I mean, granted, they were pharmacists, right? So of course they would get it. But still, it was just, I think every day I was hearing some sort of news about somebody getting an appointment and getting a vaccine or getting this, getting that. I'm like, oh, I guess my parents already got the first dose, so I'm just scared.
Great.
I'm like nervous about them getting the second dose because, you might get like they might get fever or chills and stuff like that. And when my parents get sick, I get really like anxious.
I mean, that's just all side effects. I mean, it's like it'll just be like a 1 day situation. But that's great though.
Yeah, I told them, I'm like, when you get the second vaccine, I'm gonna stay home. I'm not going anywhere. And they're just like, okay.
And they'd be like, where would you go anyway?
I've only been at home since I've been back.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Where would I go?
Wait, so are your parents considered high risk?
My dad is, because my dad is 60. He's 64, right? 64, and he's diabetic. And well, he's a guy, so men are considered high risk compared to females at that age. My mom, she has high blood pressure, which I guess that's considered high risk. I don't even know, but that's all that she has. So, and she's also like 60. She is 65, 64.
Mm, mm.
Um, yeah, that's it. They don't have any other like illnesses or anything like that. They don't have any other pre-existing conditions, but my dad is considered like high risk. So yeah.
Oh, that's good. I mean, well, not good that he's high risk, but I mean that's I mean
What's
that's
good that
good
he's
that he's got the
diabetic?
vaccine. It's great that your dad is considered high risk. I'm so happy for him.
Remember, if you doubt it, doubt it.
No, I mean, it was just great that he got the vaccine. That's yeah. No, you should totally go get it. I mean, if you can, go get it.
Yeah, I've been on. Well, here, let me share my screen with you. How do I do that? Desktop share. Can you see anything?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is the vaccine COVID-19 vaccine finder. This is where I live on Staten Island. And
Wow, everyone in Staten Island's getting the vaccine.
yeah, right. I know. Good for them. I
There we go.
applaud
Look,
this
what's
Republican
that one?
borough.
First dose appointments available.
Oh yeah, so I went. Oh, hold on. Actually, let me do this again. They would just revert me back to like all the way up there.
Or just go in the city.
Yeah. Well they do a 25-mile radius, so like
Hmm.
I can go up here.
Wait, aren't some like Dwayne Reeds and like
Yeah,
Walgreens like staying open
right here.
24/7 just to do that?
Yeah. So basically, what I'm doing is right now I can't find anything. Like I can check for appointments and stuff, but
Uh-huh.
basically I called up this website yesterday, and the woman told me to check only in the evening slash nighttime because people cancel their
Right.
appointments quite often.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so I've only started checking since yesterday because I honestly thought that I wasn't qualified. But then when I called and I
Mm-hmm.
said I had asthma, they're like, no, you are eligible to get it. And I was like, oh,
Oh my God.
okay, great.
Amazing.
Amazing that I have asthma.
Yeah. Yay, asthma.
All the issues that my family members have
Uh,
has come in handy.
comes in handy the one time. But yeah,
Um,
no, I think you should definitely go get it. I'm excited for you.
yes, thank you. And then hopefully when I get it, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know
What are you
what
gonna do?
I know. I'm like, what am I gonna do? I don't.
So,
It's
just gonna
it's
stay at
funny.
home.
No, I'm like, I was thinking first. I was like, I don't think I told any. Oh, I don't know if I told you this, but like, I've been writing scripts and stuff, and I've been just writing because that's all I can do right
Hmm.
now. And I was thinking about like producing some shorts or some scenes and putting it up on YouTube and stuff. But then I was like, I
Wait,
don't
wait, but that's not what you're gonna do once you're vaccinated. That stuff you can kind of
know.
do whenever. But what I'm
Yeah.
saying is, once you get vaccinated, like, okay, once I get fully vaccinated, I am unsure what I would do. Like, am I just gonna go around hugging everyone? Like, no, maybe
Oh, you didn't go to
unlikely.
that level. Yeah, probably not.
Or like, if I did want to hug everyone, like, it's just gonna be awkward hugs. It's like maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what I would do. Maybe just carry on and
I actually want to do a bit of a road trip.
oh, okay,
So, yeah, because going
to
back to
Middle
like
America and like rub it in the faces.
basically, yeah. So I was thinking about like working as an actor slash writer, but then I'm like,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna wait on that because I feel like now is just not the time for those things.
Mm.
And then I was thinking, well, I can't really travel internationally, and who knows when I can do that. And
Wait,
then
why not?
I just don't feel like I don't feel comfortable enough to like get on a plane for that
Hmm.
long of a time. I know people are traveling to like Mexico and like stuff like that. I'm like, I don't want to. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
um,
Go somewhere like really
and
like not
then
populated. Just go to like fucking like Papua New Guinea or something.
yeah. But then I thought I was like, you know what? Two things because I do have some friends and family that live in other cities in the U.S. and I would like to visit them. And then I also have so I did my road trip from New York to Los Angeles with uh my now ex. And it was nice. It was a good road trip. But then I was thinking, I'm like, I kind of want to redo that trip, but like by myself. Um, and I would like to travel from city to city or state to state, like on my own. And honestly, I would
Yeah.
like to go back to Los Angeles, like on my own, but just to like, I guess, travel and to also, do some like videography and stuff like that. Just as like a solo female traveler kind of thing. But I don't have a car. So
That could be a problem.
yeah. So then I was like, do I get a car? Do I rent one? Do I just bus it around everywhere and travel lightly?
Amtrak's actually kind of beautiful.
I've done Amtrak too, and Amtrak is actually quite nice. People complain about it. I'm not really sure why, but I think
It's not
fine.
bad at all. I mean, I think like there are a couple of routes which are like beautiful, but then there are also a couple of routes which are like fucking dull. Like I think there's a route that goes through Texas, and it's just like nothing.
Dude,
It's just sad.
I remember when I drove through Kansas, that was dull. Like
Oh, really?
it was just flat lands and tall grass, and there were billboards, and the only thing that the billboards showed were messages about Jesus Christ,
Oh, great.
guns and ammo, and abortion.
Oh, wonderful.
And I was like, what the hell is this? Like this is like this is the America that everyone makes fun of, and it's here in Kansas. And that's
And it's here in Kansas. Yeah.
It was really bizarre. It was kind of funny at first, and after a while you realize like, no, this is their life. So this is not funny.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of scary.
No, I know. It's
Yeah.
it's kind of wild.
Felt like I was like an episode of like South Park or something.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh dear God. Oh.
Yeah, it was boring, but I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna happen, but I feel like I feel like I don't know. This year is gonna be kind of weird because I know things are probably gonna open up again. Things are gonna go quote unquote back to normal. Quote unquote, people are gonna be vaccinated, so it's gonna be weird. I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready to be around so many people like that quickly. I feel like I would get social anxiety because I think where I was living in LA, like there was a lot of space, and when you walked around, like I felt that I can still be alone. But coming back to New York, I remember the first time I came back to the city, I got so much social anxiety because like there were so many people getting off like the Staten Island ferry, and there were just so many people. I mean, there wasn't that many people. It wasn't like how it normally is, but it was still like quite a lot. And I was like, I don't know, it's just too. I don't think I'm gonna get used to this right away. It's gonna take me some time. So
Yeah.
it's weird. Like I miss it, but like I don't know. I just need to like inch my way into it. So I don't think. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna be running around meeting groups of people and parties in the beginning.
Yeah, no to parties. No to parties. Maybe like 2 to 3 people at a time. That's it.
Yeah. My dad was telling me, he was like, watch, the 4th of July is gonna be so crazy this year. Everything's gonna be sold out in the grocery store. People are going to be having parties. He's like, me? You see me? I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying home. And I'm like, you know what? I think I'm on board with you too. I'm going to stay
home. Thank you for listening to episode 1 on the Every Shade podcast, season 2. Stay tuned for episode 2 next week.